everyone.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the J Gold Impact.
I'm Golda,
And I'm Jamie. And today we are going to be talking about navigating the
the
winter
winter blues, and loneliness.
Yes. So, the reason why we wanted to talk about this specific topic today is because we know that sometimes in the winter months, especially if you live in the Northeast, it can feel very tiring. There can be a lot of just down moments, and we want to just have a conversation around that.
Yes, especially since now that we're in February, and as I said before, we're in the cold regions, and it's very difficult sometimes when it gets super cold out to really feel like we can be isolated or just feel like, what do I do? I'm stuck in the house. It's minus 12 degrees outside. There's very little lighting, that can impact how we feel mentally as well. So we just wanted to just talk about it with the audience to see the challenges that we face and how are some steps around navigating those issues.
Right. And so I just wanted to first say that, like, if you are having a tough time, you are not alone. I have definitely felt similar feelings, and it truly is just that time of year. But the good news is that you have us, and we will help you to work through any of these feelings, and we'll also share some of the things that have helped us to
Yes.
navigate these feelings.
Yes, and we do know, again, we're not doctors. This is just from our perspective. We do understand that there's some people that are more prone to the winter blues than others. And so in talking to Jamie, we were just discussing, how do we tackle that subject? How do we say to our audience, you're not alone. It's normal. It's absolutely normal. And some people in the winter months, they have, for my age and retirees, they have the snowbirds where they leave from one cold region and they go to the hot region, and it helps them mentally to navigate because one, there's more sun, there's a little bit more warmth, and they can navigate that way. But if you're not a snowbird, how do you tackle January, February, March, those really hectic winter months, to say, hey, you know what, I'm alone, I'm stuck in the house because it's so cold, what can I do?
Yes, and I think, at least for me personally, it is so important to practice self care, extra self care during these times.
Yes. And when we say self care, it's just really taking a mental check to see, how do I feel? Do I feel like time is going by? Do I feel like I'm missing out on things that I could be doing? Do I feel like, I don't know, I should be doing something else? And that's really what we're here to kind of address, because a lot of people are feeling alone. A lot of folks live by themselves. A lot of people don't have a lot of friends, and some people are just introverts.
Right. Like me.
I would say me, but I'm a little old. So I've kind of, you know what? No, because I am an introvert as well. And sometimes it does seem, especially in those gloomy days, when I would say, okay, you know what? It's the weekend. I'm not leaving the house. So there are people who are like that, like Jamie or myself, who are introverts. And it's not saying that we don't want to go outside, but we see no reason to go outside.
Right, but it's very important to still make some sort of an effort, even
Mhm.
if you don't feel like going outside. Because at least for me, I notice that when I'm inside and I feel isolated, and maybe I'm not keeping up with my routines, then I really start to feel the impact of the winter blues and that loneliness.
And honestly, some people also get animals. They get pets because it helps them out of the house where they have to walk the dogs or something of such. Now, today, Jamie came out because she bought me bubble tea. And I was like, ooh, love bubble tea. But also, it was a way for her to get out of the house, because sometimes, we're stuck in the house and we don't go anywhere. And then next thing you know, 2, 3 days go by and it's the weekend. And then Monday comes. And then we are now back to going to work, navigating through that. And we didn't do anything self care to take care of ourselves. And so, again, we're back to the rat race, back to the grinder, back to the 9 to 6 work days, etc., and so on and so forth. And then the cycle just keeps repeating itself over and over again. So one of the things that we we would like to suggest to our audience is find a way to get out of the house.
Right. And I think that is such an important point because self care, by the way, doesn't have to be a big act. It can really
Mm-hmm.
just be found in the small moments, like picking up a bubble tea or even watching your favorite show with a nice snack.
Yes. And also, perhaps also calling your bestie and meeting up. Even if it's not for something expensive like dinner or anything like that, just meeting up, just going to get a coffee. Hey, bestie, where are you?
Right. Or a FaceTime, a nice phone call.
Or something of such. And also, the other thing too is we talk about sun. Are you in a sunny state or are you in a cold, dark climate? We don't know, but please let us know these things because it would be nice to connect with our audience to say, hey, I'm here. It's sunny. I don't have winter blues. Or, hey, I'm in Minnesota and it's 10 feet of snow and I have winter blues. So it just depends on the geography and where you are. And some people, like I said, are prone to getting winter blues and others are not.
Right. And so, Mom, I have a question. What does self care look like for you?
Okay. So for me, self care is all right. So today's Sunday. So I did go out and I did attend church and I made it an effort to attend church because it was Saturday. Yesterday was Saturday and I wanted to kind of leave the house. It was 12 degrees and I had not been outside. So part of it was just making that effort to say, you know what? I'm going to go to church today because one, if I stay in the house, the time is just going to go by. And next thing you know, it's time for work. And also just to meet people and socialize and get a little God in us, right? Yes. So that was my self care for today.
Very nice. And so, would you say that attending church is a big part of your self care routine?
Yes, it is. And I have to say, I don't go every Sunday because some days, I just want to lay up in bed. So I'm not advocating to say you have to go to church every Sunday, but it's nice to know that if that's an option to escape the winter blues and not be stuck in the house, and it's free. Because the other thing too that I'd like to say, sometimes when we have to leave the house, there's a cost, right? There's a cost associated with taking a bus, a train, an Uber, what have you, to get to meet up with friends. So sometimes we don't have the finances to do it. So then there are other ways to say you can find something free to do, but just get out of the house.
Right. It's funny because sometimes I feel like as soon as I step out of the house, I'm spending $20.
And you are 20s on the cheap end. Yes, we understand that because sometimes I say to Jamie as well, why is it that every time you leave the house, you're at least spending $20? I don't know why, but it just always seems that way.
Yeah, I mean, even a latte these days, the price has gone way up.
And it's not even a latte anymore. It's more like an ice cream, right? Because everything is so sweet.
Right. But that said, going outside for a quick coffee is actually an act of self care that I love to practice because it gives me a reason to get dressed, get some fresh air, and get that sun.
And also, the jolt from the caffeine can give you a nice little pick me up too and get the brain cells moving and circulating.
Right. And that said, for folks who may not live close to a coffee shop, I also enjoy making my own coffee at home because it's that
Hmm.
ritual of just drinking something warm that feels nice and gives me an extra boost.
Yes. And if you don't have a coffee recipe, I mean, Google it because, Dr. Google does everything nowadays. So, I mean, it's also fun experimenting. And again, it goes back to self-care, right? Maybe today's the day when you decide to try out a new recipe, try out to learn how to make a banana bread or try out to learn how to make a pizza or something like that. Again, it's just getting outside of our head and not being stuck in a mental state where it just feels like I'm alone, I can't do much, and there's nothing to do.
Right. And also, one thing that I like to practice on moments when I feel down is I have a list on my phone called Jamie's Comfort Menu. And it has a list of items that always make me feel good depending on how much time I have. So, some of the items on there include going to Pilates, making a cup of coffee or tea at home, calling a friend. And so I encourage all of you to take a few moments to write down the things that make you feel good. And then moments when you are feeling a little bit off, refer to that menu. It could be painting your nails, doing a face mask at home. And it's almost like just an item that you can refer to again when you need that guidance.
Yes. And also having a playlist. Because believe it or not, it's like, you know how you get that energized playlist when you're doing a workout? It's kind of like the same thing. Maybe there's a playlist that have all these really great energetic songs that's going to get you feeling motivated or get you moving or something like that. You know, those are ways that simple that can just kind of perk you up.
Definitely. I love a good playlist.
Yes.
Whether that's my gospel playlist, maybe a little bit of R&B or hip hop, pop, you name it.
Yes.
There's a playlist for every mood.
Yes, yes, and there's a playlist for everyone. Yes. So these are some of the things that we're suggesting to kind of like help with the winter blues and help with self-care, because self-care is also mental care. You know, a lot of people are struggling mentally with the isolation and the loneliness, and it's real. You're not imagining it, it's
Right.
not in your head, and it's a real thing, especially younger adults. You know, because sometimes we're not quite there yet. I mean, for Jamie, I'm there. But for Jamie, it's and that age group, it's very difficult navigating through life. And there's so many stressors that attack us day to day, even for me. And it's just nice to every now and then have a little escape where you're taking care of yourself, because, you know, we have one body. It's going to take us from the cradle to the grave, and we have to take care of it. We have to nourish our bodies, nourish our brains, and help ourselves.
Right. There is a ton that's happening on a daily basis. And one of the ways that I navigate all of the stressors is actually having quiet time to journal, to pray, to meditate, and to really just check in with myself. Because I know sometimes it can be easy to just roll up your sleeves and go to work, come home, and not pause.
Mhm.
But it's so important that we slow down sometimes to really just check in with ourselves to see how we're feeling.
And Jamie, I have a question for you now. Now, I don't journal just because I never did it and I never really started, but I do know that you journal, Jamie. What are some of the perks of journaling?
Oh, that's a great question. So, one of the reasons I love journaling is because it gives me a creative outlet to really, one, pause and sit with my feelings, but two, to express myself. When I journal, I like to just check in about my day, things that were on the top of my mind, things that I have questions about, and it's really just a moment for me to pour my heart out. I really love journaling because it's a way for me to connect with myself and to just check in to make sure that things are okay and just to see where I'm at. It really feels like a temperature check.
Yes, and that's another part of self care as well. So, we've given you a couple of steps and we've given you a couple of advice on how to beat the winter blues and how to also just mentally stay fortified, because it's a mental game out here. So, if you like what we're saying, subscribe, hit the notification button.
And like this video.
Yes, and we thank you for stopping by and watching our videos, and just please let us know what you think. You know, did we give any pointers that kind of hit home for you? Are there things that you would like to do that you never thought about that we've suggested? Let us know.
Yes, please do. And we are so happy that you have joined us today. We cannot wait to connect with you again next week.
Yes, see you later. Bye
Bye.
bye.